shit. Welcome to Meltdown Comics in Hollywood, California. Harmontown is now in session. Spencer Crittenden, your dungeon master. Spencer. And the mayor of Harmontown, Mr. Dan Harmon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So I threw out my back yesterday.
For real?
Yeah, and it hurts a lot, and it's hard to walk. And today, Erin drew a bath for me, and she it's my wife, Erin. She it wasn't Aaron Sorkin. I asked him, but
that's a better story.
Yeah, I mean his take on it would be too dramatic, too clever. So just draw me a bath.
What would an Aaron Sorkin bath look like? You think?
It would be ironic. You know, it would be like it would have a picture of a desert above it. I don't know. Can't improvise what Aaron Sorkin's style is. So she runs me a bath, very nice. She puts all these Epsom salts in it. Thinks maybe this will help your bad back. And she's like, "Do you want me to put some music on?" I said, "Yeah, just you put something on." And she puts on, probably in a genuine attempt to make me feel comfortable, not mockingly. She puts on 90s alternative hits. It says a station. So I'm listening. I'm like, oh, this does make me comfortable. It's 90s alternative hits. It's soothing my back and some Epsom salts. And then it's like a radio station. So then the commercial on the radio station for the 90s alternative hits is for a hospital that specializes in hip pain. And that's a real actual thing that happened today. I was just sitting there in the tub. And then another thing that made me feel old, but in a good way, was I watched Kung Fury. Did you see this thing, Kung Fury? Yeah, that was another Woody in Toy Story moment for me. The box opening and Kung Fury coming out, and me going, "Oh, I'm retiring now." It's kind of not to be. I guess that's very presumptuous of me to say. There's a lot of talent, passion. You got to check it out. It's very great. It's like 25 minutes of just nonstop passion for the 80s, and I would never have clicked on it, because there's been so much hack shit that has Kung in the title, and it just sounds like something you probably 9 times out of 10.
Kung Fu Panda.
It's just too much shit. Somebody sends me a video and goes like, "Oh, you should watch this. It's called Kung Fury." I'm not gonna. I'm not. I did it because of my bad back. Really, I couldn't do anything else except watch stuff. So I clicked on it, and then I was just drawn in, and it's really, really good. You should, all you have to do is give it 30 seconds, and you're either gonna watch the full 25 or not. But it's really good. It was kind of a coming of age day, I think, for that reason, because it's like a celebration of 80s VHS direct to video kind of action films, but simultaneously is like taking advantage of today's technology. It was kickstarted by someone who appears to be probably a younger man. I've never seen him before. It was kind of like it just felt my obsolescence emanating off of this thing. I texted Schraub and said man, I'm really glad this guy waited to show up until after you and I were validated. Because if I had been in the break room at Target and seen that, I would have gotten into my car, driven to the desert, stopped at the first cow skull, and just gotten out and just started walking, and I would have faded down on me walking, or I would have just dissolved like Ice Cube and Boys in the Hood. Meaning I died, I guess. Ice Cube died, right? That's why he faded away. Is that a yup? Is that Dave Klein? Hey, Dave Klein. How are you?
I was right. It was Dave Klein.
He brought his yups to the
Dave Klein
row.
is sitting in the sweet spot where the camera, for the home listener, one of them's pointed right at Dave Klein.
Oh, that's right. It's a Klein cam.
Dan, under what circumstances did you hurt your back?
I think I was just like, it takes very little. Like I've had a bad back since I was 17. Like I come from a long line of bad backs, and I do. I mean, everyone in my family has a fucked up back, and like it's. I'd pick it off of a list of things that could be fucked up about me. Like I don't want asthma. I don't want like certain allergies. I'll take a bad back, but it's like, it's you know, it makes it really hard to do physical labor. That's the big downside. Boo hoo. But sometimes if I do too much twisting and bending, and I was rearranging my office, and I think I just did a certain combination of things, and then I tried to get on my like inversion table. I have this like Michael Keaton gravity boot thing that usually like knocks it out, but this time maybe I did it wrong or something, and then I was like ow, 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 and I couldn't even play video games. It hurt so bad.
Oh my god.
Because that involves sitting up.
You couldn't sit down?
I can barely be standing here. I'm a hero for standing here. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see a firefighter do this. Take some time off his jeans stealing schedule. These guys can't stop stealing jeans. That's why they become firefighters. They're like, free jeans. If you're a firefighter and this is your first episode, it's a callback. I don't believe you stole jeans during 9/11. I know that's an urban myth. It's an urban myth that entertains me. I'm calling back to the joke.
There's also an urban myth that firefighters come to our podcast.
There's or they're out there watching on their little fireproof laptops. Have you seen the Little Caesar commercial where the Little Caesars has this ad for this guy? This is related to laptops. Little Caesars has this guy because Little Caesars is doing this campaign where they're trying to convince you that they're ordering their pizza is easier than ordering online. So they're doing these commercials where it's like, yeah, I can't. Oh, man, this is so much easier. Like they're vilifying the process of ordering pizza online. It just seems. I mean, I don't know. How do they think that that's gonna? So one of the commercials I saw today, because I have a bad back, so I was just watching Key and Peele all day and watching these shitty commercials. And like there's a guy who goes like, "Hey, can I get 2 pizzas?" And his hands are below the counter. And she goes, "Yeah, that'll be whatever, fucking 99, whatever." And he goes, "Thanks. You have no idea how much easier it is than ordering online." And he lifts his hands. Now so he's lifting his hands, and both of his hands have been thrust through the backside of computer monitors on laptops because it wouldn't read otherwise as a laptop. The idea is he's been so frustrated with his computers and such a pussy that he had to sneak up on him. It's like, "I'll be right back." No, it's because obviously they were in the production meeting and they're like, "Oh, but it's all laptops just look like slabs of nothingness from behind." "Oh, well, what if we'll just turn around? Can we just, Julie? Can we just turn around?" Yeah. Just give me a second. We'll turn around. And nobody was like, the actor's like, "I don't fucking care. I'm in a pizza commercial. I already want to kill myself. I'm not going to argue with these people. I'm not going to be the actor that had to do a pizza commercial and was high maintenance about it. I'm just gonna do this and I'm gonna get out of here."
The idea being that he tried to order online and I think his hands went through a computer.
Well, because I'm assuming that the idea is that he was trying to order a pizza online and couldn't.
And then he told his computer to turn around so he could
look over there.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I mean, the idea is that he would have punched in frustration, but it looks like his computer was so ashamed that it couldn't order pizza for him that it went down to the river like Lenny of Mice and Men, and he sympathetically, euthanistically dispatched it, and he's just saying to the lady like, "It's much easier to go through Little Caesars." And then, so then during Key and Peele, which is awesome, I saw a bunch of Key and Spielberg sketches that I have. This is nice when you go through a spate of not watching Key and Peele. You get to catch up with a lot of. Those guys really go for it. We should have one or both of them on the show. He said flagrantly. Yup, we got a yup on that.
Do we have a yup?
The yups have it. Yeah, but it's got to be. It probably has to be one of them. They hate each other. It's they won't work together.
No, that's Kid and Play.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Wow.
No, but they did voices on
Wait, was he
Rick
right?
and Morty.
Did you confuse Kid and Play with Kid?
No. the
you,
joke,
you,
maybe.
You just confused my joke for realsies. You're seeing double, and one thing is the joke and for realsies are separate because you're seeing double, so you're looking at the for realsies. Focus on the joke half of your vision. They did voices for Rick and Morty, which Adult Swim didn't want us to talk about all the guest voices, but like 20% of our second season is leaked online, so you already know that they did voices. Unless you're one of these wonderful people who, and I appreciate the sacrifice. I think people are tweeting me going, the episodes are leaked. The 2 episodes that we sent out to press are leaked of Rick and Morty, and I'm not going to watch them until the date. I'd be with you, I think. I mean, I know, but I also don't. I don't fault anybody for doing it, but I will. I don't care about the politics of it. I would just say, from on Justin's behalf, that like we'd rather be finished with the episodes when you watch them, and we'd rather you see them with the sound mixed and stuff like that.
We're doing it for Justin.
All right, good.
Hashtag.
And there was another commercial during the Key and Peele's. So all right. So I'm 42. So a lot of this show is about me being open and honest about my racially obsessed 70s upbringing, the brain that's resulted in like I'm struggling with a post-racial millennial generation, and I'm not. I think the second half of A Proper Life should be spent realizing how wrong you were for the first half, and I'm loving it. That's what this show's about to a large degree. I'm going to therapy now. You heard me swear off therapy, and I'm never gonna like giraffes, but like, but so I'm confused about this one. So I'm watching Key and Peele, and then this McDonald's commercial comes on. I thought we stopped doing this. I thought this was like an 80s. 90s thing, and then we got embarrassed about it, the transparency of it, and stopped doing it. Maybe this is post now. Now it's like, well, why not do it? It's just like we're still doing the rapping all black people McDonald's commercials, the separate but equal McDonald's commercials, where it's just all black people, and it's and the announcer's black, and everyone's unified by blackness and loving McDonald's, and I can't figure out how I feel about it anymore, because we used to unilaterally go, well, this is ridiculous. This is a holdover from a time when we thought that, like that race separated people and that advertisers were catering to it. And now I have no idea how to feel about it, because they're clearly they're young and beautiful. And if I was part of a stereotype that made me like look sexy and have a good time all the time while I was eating my cheeseburgers, and I saw the commercial, I might go like, well, now I want a cheeseburger. Now that you're telling me white people like do their white thing, and part of being white is looking good and jamming out, and like. It's just like it comes out. It's like $2.50 for a burger and fry, double fry, double fry, and it makes no bones about it. It's not disguising it anymore. It's like it's back to the 80s. Like 80s was like that. It was like they would just have a commercial. It was just like it was just fucking like crazy. It was like, yo, you want to get a Burger King Whopper, a Whopper, if you please. I want a Whopper with all my cheese. And it was just black people just biting into burgers, and they're just like, huh? And it's just like this elephant in the room. It's just like, hey, your race is different, but you should buy our product anyway. And so then I think in the 90s it got a little more subtle, maybe. Someone told me about. And have you seen this commercial? I think we must have talked about this commercial on this podcast. The Coors, I think it's a Coors Light commercial. The silver bullet people, right? So there's this commercial. We had to have talked about this. The commercial opens up. This is the 21st century that this commercial is. There's like courthouse steps, or like they're just like a skyscraper steps, and a multi-ethnic like group of young executives comes out, and they're like, they just finished work and they're all in suits and they're like kind of congratulating each other on a job well done for capitalism that day, and the Asian lady walks off, and like the white guy goes his way, and there's probably a Latino guy, although they're we're lagging there, but at any rate we follow the black guy, the handsome young black executive, and he goes and then it goes to a special train station that he goes to, and there's, I think it's all black people on the train platform. And then the Coors Light Silver Bullet train pulls up, and it opens up, and inside is a crazy black party on like a Buck Rogers set. It's like with dry ice and like holograms and just all black people just grooving out, drinking Coors Light, and he gets in it, and it just goes away, and it's like, you're black, you have a secret life, make our beverage a part of it. Like, why not? How do we feel about this? I guess it's not how do we feel about it. It's how does the average.
It sounds like those commercials targeted strictly at an audience that goes like, yeah, you're a black guy. It's cool to be a black gal or a guy. Like eat a cheeseburger, have a Coors Light.
We certainly don't want to live in a world where anything's against the law, but I just thought we're just talking about like what's.
Could there be a commercial where
what's respectful?
There should be a commercial where the black guy leaves the multi-ethnic capitalists, goes down a secret train platform, gets on an all-black dry ice train, and then a white guy gets on the train. And everyone's like, oh, shit.
Everyone stops for a second, and then he holds up a Coors Light, and they're like, yeah!
Exactly.
I think that, and it's like...
What's the messaging there?
We
know you know about the black secret lifestyle. Make this beverage part of it.
Yeah. Their slogan is Coors Light. Is he cool? The funny thing is that as a TV writer, the line seems crystal clear to me. Or no, the line doesn't seem crystal clear to me. But I'm more forgiving of that when it's not in advertising. I guess because advertising all seems toxic. So, like, I don't blink at a black sitcom like the idea of a nice blue collar like this. He's a working man and he's got a family, and of course you don't have to like diversify your all black cast. And I don't know. It's like I just swallow that all down and go, well, yeah, what else are we doing? Who cares? What the fuck? It's really like try to reflect life and try to cater to an audience.
But when McDonald's does an all-black commercial,
it makes me feel, I guess because all commercials are already, even just a regular Pringles commercial with a rainbow cast of people not popping or stopping or whatever they do, and the librarian saying
they're popping and not stopping.
No flavor in this library. Shh. What's going on? Who's having flavor in the library? Whoa! Woo! Titties. Glasses off, titties. Because fuck women. Fuck them. I am so offended by the racial non-homogeny in commercials. But hey, if you want to sell me a beer, put it right between a pair of tits. Of any color, really, because I don't see things through that lens. I'll look at a big round pair of fake titties of any color. I'm progressive.
What is going on? Go on.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's and it's not like
when you see an all-black McDonald's commercial, what is your what is your instinct? What is your reaction to that?
I go, Jesus, that's embarrassing and awkward. That's fucked up.
Do you think a black person thinks that's embarrassing, that they're being pandered to?
I don't know, and I'll tell you what we're not going to do. We're not going to ask if there's a black person in the audience and then bring them up and have them speak for all black people. Because I just don't want to do that to that person. and that person has a right to feel however they feel, and they don't.
I'm talking about you.
I look at it and I go. We talked about this last week about how I confessed about my my weird white perspective on these issues that doesn't quite matter and yet matters a lot, like should be reflected upon. Like, that's how my feelings matter. It should be me looking at myself and going like, why does this make you feel this way? So the complicated thing is that all of my feelings have to do with perception of the other. When I see the commercial come on, I immediately go, I think my first emotional impulse is, if I were black, this would make me feel angry. This would outrage me. Yes. It would make me hate society. Yes. Because I would be going, what do all these people have in common, and why is this corporation telling me, why is this a hook? You know, like, why are they considering my race to be, and why, and then simultaneously also saying that my race is necessarily, like, you know, of course it's fucking hip hop music. Of course it's, you know, and the announcer is like, he's not an uptight black guy. They exist, but he's not like a, you know, it's like the voiceover role is like, I don't know, the fucking voiceover guy in the McDonald's commercial was like, hey, you know what time it is. It's like, it's always got that, like, oozing with fucking nighttime DJ sexuality. Like, I don't know. I on one hand, I would be like...
Maybe that commercial is not targeted towards black people, but to white people. Like, oh, shit.
That's actually a really good point, because they're all very attractive black people, and maybe the white person inside you is like, fuck society, I'm going to do what black people do. I'm so angry at white corporate America, I'm going to go eat a fucking Big Mac with my thin little white lips. Nibble, 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 nibble. Look at me, Ray Kroc. Are you angry yet, White House? Chicken McNuggets. Anyways. But there is another part of me, though, that said, like I said, because it's not negative stereotypes in the commercial. It's, you're fun, you're sexy, you're having a good time. I don't know. It's weird. I don't think anyone likes being defined. I think if they had a commercial that said, like, hey, you're blonde, come to McDonald's. Like, blondes have a good time. Like you know how blondes are. After work with my blonde friends, I'm in the mood for one thing: Chicken McNuggets.
But so many commercials are all white people that you don't feel that that's insulting to white people. Like when it's unanimously white people in a commercial.
I don't think you can insult white people. I don't know how to do that except to call them racist.
Or
Mario at the drawing room. I'm giving him credit for that joke. He said, hey, because we were talking about race because I was in there. And Mario, if you ever go to the drawing room, there's that big guy Mario behind the bar.
He's Cuban, yeah.
And he goes, you know what they say about white people, Dan? I said, no. He's like, you can call him honky, cracker, peckerwood, just don't call him racist. I was like, you're right. That's the only thing that offends them. They get all bent out of shape. I'd love to be called peckerwood. That would be amazing. It would make me feel struggle. Yeah, I am a peckerwood. Are you afraid of my wooden pecker? You should be. I will mortgage your house and then lie about it and foreclose because I am manipulative and racist and I'm a peckerwood. Careful. All right. So we've talked about...
What's the McDonald's commercial targeted just towards peckerwoods?
The ninth hole's hard because it curves to the left. So you pick your 3 wood and you hold your breath and you swing for the clouds, but you know that your stomach is empty.
I can't believe they got Bob Seger to do that commercial.
Hey, tomorrow's Wednesday, and as all white people know, it's secret no work day. So come to McDonald's. There won't be any black people there.
Now, in that commercial, what if one black guy walks in on that day?
And then he holds up a McNugget, and we're like, get in here! All right. So, speaking of outrage, so I'm playing Arkham Knight on the Xbox, and so I've played all 3 of the Arkham games, and then realizing like, holy shit, Alfred as always is helping a lot. He helps a lot, Alfred. Like he's the point man. He's like. He's like, sir, you should know that those fingerprints belong to so-and-so. Like, he's working a full-time job, like running prints and going through crime databases and stuff. But and it's just like, and he does that in the movies, too, so it's not just the video game. But it's like, it finally just occurred to me because I was playing Batman, and once again, Alfred is like, should I send the new bat suit, sir? And I was like, thank you. And he's like, you'll notice the Kevlar plating is a bit of a tweak. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. And then I'm like, okay, will there be anything else, sir? And I was like, yeah, the sink is filling with dishes. Like, you are a fucking butler. We can't hire any more help because every time you touch a goddamn Shakespeare head, the fucking bookcase turns into a scuba vehicle. So we can't. I guess me in this 900-room house with one guy. I just think like Alfred must be pretty pissed off. Like, you talk about a guy with that like he must spend his nights like punching walls. Because Batman comes home and goes like, thank you, and then Alfred's like, okay, well. He probably every night goes like sends these big hints like, well, if there's nothing else, then I guess I should, while this was all going on, while I was coming up with that antidote for the neurotoxin, I forgot to sweep up the pantry. So I guess I'll go do that. And then Bruce Wayne's like, okay, cool. He's his butler for real. It's not like a fake thing. His boss is a guy who pretends to be a bat, but he can't even be a fake butler. He's not even allowed. Sir, do you think maybe I could have an alter ego? Maybe by day I'm not a fucking butler. It's crazy. White people have it hard.
Not on Wednesday.
You've been polishing Bruce Wayne's candelabra and helping him fight poison ivy, but your lips are smacking for that salty taste of a deep-fried string of processed potato-like substance. All right. Well, is it? Hey, is Curtis here yet? No. Okay. The fucking guy. I'm telling you. Thin ice.
Thin fucking ice.
We have no show other than that. Spencer, how's it going?
Hey guys, I'm doing just good. So someone, I'd assume a fan of Harmontown, sent me a Super Nintendo game. I think anonymously it was Mega Man X3. It's worth like a lot of money. So I should have mentioned it weeks and weeks ago, but thank you very much. Sorry everybody. Now to today. I was driving by a place called Kebab Time, and I guess already the marketing's not very strong at this location. But Kebab Time had a subtitle, if you will, for the restaurant, which I don't know if that's common. I guess that's kind of common for restaurants, but it said, "No heartburn!" ! Which is very interesting tactic for advertising. It's like you don't see that elsewhere, like Denny's, "Not poison," or like...
It's also totally irresponsible. They can't say that.
That's completely down to your own constitution.
That's like that Yelp doctor saying, you definitely have ADD.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it would be like if they were like, no cancer or like something. Like, you can't determine these things. Cancer's not a good place to go. Found that out.
Hey, I have a new segment.
Do you?
It's called
Dan. If you don't have a segment, don't lie about it.
It's called Uber Confessions.
Uber Confessions.
Yeah. Sometimes you're in a car, but you don't want to drive because it's too far, or you're too drunk, so you have someone else drive you, and they're Armenian. My first Uber confession. I have two Uber confessions tonight. My first Uber confession is that every time someone drops me off at my house and says, you have a beautiful home. My first reaction, panic. That's my first confession. Value my candor. Don't punish me for it. My second Uber confession is that I just finally realized I was looking down at the bottom tabs. I've been using an American Express card to call Ubers since I decided to not buy a car, which was a long time ago. And I have been like fucking flat. Like, so and there's a little tab down there with the American Express card, and it says pay with this card. And then I noticed another tab next to it that says use points. I'm like, use points. I click on it. I have 1.07 million membership rewards points, which translates to $10,766 worth of Uber rides. Which means I haven't done the math, but I can never get a car because of all the money I've clearly blown on Uber. Now means I'll be blowing even more money if I don't use all these points. And those are my Uber confessions. Yo, it smells like cologne in here. Is there a button? A no cologne button on the app, please? A no cologne button. Oh, now it smells like cigarettes. A no cologne button, that would be good, right, buddy?
Like, you ever park your car with a valet, and you get in your car, and the valet guy gets out, and it's just like, my car smells like your cologne for the rest of time.
Yeah.
It's like, that's an occupation where you should not be allowed to wear all the cologne.
It's unregulated.
Here's my thing. A flight attendant should not be able to wear all the perfume or cologne. I was on a Southwest flight where a woman had so much cologne, I moved to the back of the plane because I couldn't breathe. And I called the FAA and had her killed. Which I thought was too far.
Well, at least you're.
I did regret it. Also, I lost my voice today cheering for a U.S. women's soccer team.
So, speaking of feminism, Aaron hired a guy to clean out our garage today because there's like a lot of.
That is feminist.
There's a lot of like.
She's like the Gloria Steinem of hiring people.
The garage of my home is like it's the back and side walls are all dirt as high as the garage's roof. Like it's kind of like an underground garage. And years and years. The house was built in 1929. Humble brag, not a humble brag, just a brag. All the water is like. All the water has just been slowly like seeping into the walls of the garage, and the thing's ready to fall apart. But Spencer helped me hire these landscaper guys, like dig these trenches and they seal. Anyways, that's not really important to the story.
I think it is.
We got the garage. Which always, if you went in there and took a whiff, you'd be like, I'm certainly gonna die of black mold. Like, oh, by the way, wait, whoa.
Everybody get out. Everyone get out. If they can come back in, we're going to start the show over.
What was her name? The poor young lady, the actress Brittany Murphy. Do you guys read about that? It wasn't as publicized. I keep spitting on you, Willie. You're in the splash zone. Sorry. It's just vodka from my mustache. Like I took a bath today. It's Epsom salts and vodka. And just a little bit of a fraud complex. Just a hint. Everybody kind of characterized. Oh, she died, and it was kind of characterized as drug overdose and stuff. Her husband died. They had black mold in their shower. Jesus. They died of the same thing, and because fucking horrible and terrifying, and there's nothing good about that. There's no silver. Try to find the silver lining in that one.
What's really terrifying is the symptoms of mold poisoning. Can lead from like anything from like headaches to stuffy nose to like bleeding eye sockets and then death. And so it's like, oh, I have a headache. Oh, I'm dead. Like just normal maladies.
And you go out knowing that if you're me, for instance, that everyone's going to go, oh, he was an alcoholic. Like that's what killed him. And I'm gonna be like, no, Mike, that's you guarantee I will haunt your asses. And I'll be like pointing at the black mold, and everyone will be like, oh, it's Dan Harmon. There must be gold buried over there. No, it's black mold. It's not gold. You can only
Texas
hear...
tea.
Yeah, there's oil in the...
That's why ghosts are so misunderstood. You can only hear their vowels. They're not saying boo. They're saying...
They're saying Drew.
They're saying Drew. Yeah. They're saying chew. They don't want you to choke like they did. 20 times. It seems excessive, but... That's it. The ghost is just murmuring at me. All right, black mold. Okay, so you would go in my garage and be like, oh God, this is a death trap. So we sealed it off on the outside, big expensive landscaping job. And then because we did that, now today, Aaron hired a task rabbit, I'm familiar with this, to come and like help clean out the garage. So he goes up, so there's a bunch of stuff in the storage there. Big cardboard boxes full of stuff that we've put into cold storage up there. All water damage because of the water that's seeping through. So I wasn't down there. Aaron came up and reported this to me, that the guy reached up, touched the first box on the top left, and it disintegrated in his hands, and 1,000 porn magazines just flooded like Stanley Kubrick's blood elevator. Just nothing but like 10 years of pre-internet obsessive compulsive hoarding of porn. Yup. I was trying to explain to Erin. I was like, you don't understand. She's 12 years younger than me. I'm like, there was before the internet. Like, you never knew if you were gonna see this lady again. And she's like, then why buy more? And I'm like, well, because you're done. And then you need more. Why put it in a box? Because I put it in a box before the internet's. And the funny thing is that I realized, because then remember, guys my age, like when you first started, like, really, we all had like a folder, somewhere hidden away, where it was like the same instinct. It was like, you gotta hoard this porn, but it's everywhere. And it's like, do you realize the reason that folder is so full is because the porn will never end and you don't need it? And now, finally, I've caught up with the rest of the world. We're all like, we're just awash in porn. Like, why would you ever save anything?
Now, why do you still have those boxes? Like, why not like throw those out?
Because not only were those boxes filled long ago, they were also like packed away long ago. So there were just boxes that were, those boxes were still sealed, before I moved into that house. And then you just take the boxes with you.
You had a folder, like a little manila folder. That was pieces of porn that you had torn out.
Yeah, because I would try to consolidate. Be like, okay, it's like archiving your hard drive or like compressing it like a zip file. They're like, okay, well, let's get all the redheads out of here and like it's becoming a space problem. It's becoming an actual physical space problem.
You had a closet that was like floor to ceiling, just Playboys and stuff, but you had this one like pretty full manila folder. So I was leafing through it. I'm like, wow, you really like redheads. And you're like, what? You went, oh, fuck, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I just went with my gut, and they're all redheads. It's face blindness. You go like, oh, their hair's, I noticed that. I go by hair and eyebrows. I didn't know that was Dave Klein. We were arguing. So he was on the camera. Is that Dave Klein? Or any guy with blonde hair and a beard. Because it could be anybody. And if Dave Klein had dark hair, I'd be like, is that Spencer?
If he had red hair, he'd be in your folder.
Pleated skirt. Let's give him a little something. I was watching True Detective, and Colin Farrell has a mustache, the thing, and then there's that one flashback where he meets Vince Vaughn, and he doesn't have a mustache. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy now? Oh, it's Colin Farrell, just without one thing above his lip, and I just like static, because he doesn't have. All my friends look weird. Like, Jeff wears those suits for a reason. Like, I go by props. I need you to have, like, a hat or, like, a monocle.
You're saying
crazy thick eyebrows.
Are you saying that I wear suits so that you recognize me?
Yeah, yeah. I think you unconsciously know that you will... that you're at risk of, like, blending into the...
I always thought you were a narcissist, but that's too far. That's too fucking far.
I'll prove I'm not a narcissist by taking a back seat to our guest, Curtis Armstrong. I saw.
Yeah. Also, Dan, before we say hi to Curtis, I want to say thank you for that great feminist tale you told us.
Yeah.
Speaking of feminism, I have a lot of porn in my garage.
You're really on top of my... Are you like my jokes agent? Hey, look at this joke.
I said women's soccer. You said, speaking of feminism, you told a story about having a lot of porn magazines.
Yeah, funny. Because it's not feminism.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Jeff loses his sense of irony when he drinks a little bit. Remember when he was so angry about chain singers? You're not.
Still am, Dan.
Well,
I'm too drunk to even talk about it right now.
sorry, Curtis.
That's all right.
That's a rude way to bring out a guest.
No, it's a fine way. I'm used to it. But I was also thinking because of porn in your garage because I kept porn in my garage.
Did you ever
point.
have that conversation with your wife?
I did actually, but the thing that people don't realize, especially if you're with someone who's a lot younger than you, is that it used to be difficult to get porn. I mean, you had to go into a store face a person, and sometimes it was a young woman like your own age who was working in the store, and you had to buy your porn and actually look at someone as opposed to doing it in the privacy of your room.
I never saw. I couldn't even
I
conceive
did.
that. It was always like my guy was always like a
really horrible
like a Vietnam vet with a cigar in his ear. Yeah. I always thought they profiled for those jobs as a way of guaranteeing sales.
I always dreamed of that, but it never worked out that way. It was like there was always the guy, with the bad, horrible face and the drool who was there most of the time. And then when I would go in to get my penthouse, it would be somebody, like a 19-year-old woman. And
that's just bad business at an adult bookstore.
I never went to adult bookstores. I would only go to regular bookstores that had the section in the back where everything was covered up.
I think you grew up in a bigger city than me.
That's possible.
That's something that could sustain that in their economy.
But I kept them for years. I found them constantly. After a while, I didn't want to go out and buy them anymore, so I just used the same ones over and over again.
There is someone should study this, and no one ever will now because we're now in this digital age. So it's sort of
this is anthropology we're talking about now.
But there's some kind of useful data there about the human mind, the male mind, the sex drive, or something that and the visual relationship with it, because to study how big does the pile have to be. Assuming one wank a day,
one
as if I'm just making simple numbers.
Okay.
As I was jerking off in St. Ives, I met a man with 7 brides. I don't want to get into that situation. How tall does the pile have to be, the theoretical pile, before the stuff on the bottom becomes new again for a guy?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because that phenomenon would happen. There were times when I would think, why are you doing this? You're a hoarder, is why. You're like you're a weird hoarder and an addict, and you're keeping this stuff out of some strange. But then sure enough, at some point, the hoarder's worst nightmare is like, oh my God, what if I need that ball of string or something? And you're like, oh my God, what was that? What
was that one?
What did that lady look like? She was playing the pinball machine.
Right, yeah.
She had the Cobra boots and...
Yeah.
And then if you can't find it, it's like a panic. You're like, where is Margaret?
Yeah. Yeah, and what I found was that they were usually, the ones that I had were generic enough that I would have to make up whole stories So after, I didn't need that big of a pile because it was actually a great exercise in storytelling.
Yeah.
Basically, that after a while I'd go back to the other ones, and then it would be a whole new story. She'd be French now.
Yeah.
I'd met her on a train.
And now it's just a big free-for-all.
I know, and now it's so easy. You kids today, you don't know how good you've got it.
I used to jerk off uphill both ways to school.
That's right.
You had to work for it back then. You had to hunt and gather.
That's right.
I wonder about the female side of it, because there's the myth that women aren't visually stimulated. There's the myth that women... I'd be willing to bet, but I'm also very willing to be wrong about this. I'd be willing to bet there's probably a huge difference in the amount of porn that women consume, et cetera. But I've had enough conversations with enough confessional women that to know that there's a myth that they don't fart and they never watch porn, and it's like they do both. They usually at the same time. That's a stereotype that does hold up. It turns them on for some reason. That's why they don't like when men fart, because they think farts are really sexy, but only when they do it themselves, and they don't want anyone around because their farts sound like a beautiful glass flute. And it's Tolkien-esque. It's like if a man hears a woman fart, he'll be drawn to the ocean and he'll drown himself. And they don't want to do that to us because they're one with the tide.
Right. And the road goes ever on.
Led Zeppelin. But I am curious about the female perspective on not only porn in general, but more importantly, the fact that now it has changed from a world where you used to really have to be dedicated to you had to take physical action to seek out pornography at some point. It's changing into a world where everyone's private life and private thoughts are sort of like their own business, and they're all digital now. Has that, and we'll never be able to measure this because how do you ask people and how do you measure it? Have women increased their pornographic consumption? Has their outlook changed as a result? Have they, there's all a million fascinating questions that only
that I can't answer.
Only Thor can answer in heaven. I'll explain my religion in a minute. It's sort of a fusion of pop culture and evangelical Christianity. I want to be a Christian, but I don't want to read anything except comic books. So when you die, Iron Man weighs your soul against Thor's hammer. Not surprised Dave Klein is a Thor fan. So did I take that to mean that did you marry a younger lady?
I married a younger, yes.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Probably. But
First wife was older, actually. Second wife is younger.
Ah, you old dog. Did you? I was talking about. I don't know when you got here, but I threw out my back yesterday, and
I'm sorry.
That's all right, baby. I was listening to a '90s alternative station while I was soaking my bad back, and they had a hip pain commercial on the '90s alternative hits. Anyways, I started to feel old today, not necessarily in a bad way, but I was just curious, thresholds that you've crossed where, if you recall any, I don't know, major events. I remember punching the dashboard of my car on New Year's Eve because I had just turned 26. And I was like, I'm wasting my fucking life! And I physically punched the dashboard of my car until it broke. Because I was 26 fucking years old! What have you done? And I was screaming it to myself alone on New Year's Eve.
You were alone on New Year's Eve?
That's probably what I was mad about.
And
and I wanted to make it about progress, my industriousness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really sad. I mean, I did. I usually went to the movies on New Year's Eve. I didn't have any. I don't remember any moments of sort of huge threshold experiences where I was smashing stuff or anything like that because of a threshold. I mean, I used to do stuff like that, but not for any reason.
Oh, what did you smash stuff for?
Oh, just, to get stuff out. And, I used to, when I lived in New York, I used to throw knives into the wall. I had a wall that was where I would just, late at night, throw knives into it.
Kitchen knives?
Just steak knives? Or?
Yeah.
But
I just did that to kill time, really.
Yeah. I used to throw knives when I was younger, and Aaron got me some throwing knives, but I don't have the time to set up a target or anything.
That's why I used the wall. It was just didn't have to set
throwing
anything
knives
up.
is very relaxing.
Well, it's something when you're in your 20s, you feel like you're doing something cool and it's phallic, and you're throwing knives.
I was going to say it can't be any.
You figure that it's something that cool people did.
Right.
In
like a tavern over a flagon of ale.
Exactly.
But really all you're doing is taking a little metaphor for your ineffective penis and fucking a wall with it.
Exactly.
Because you're just like any other piece of fucking garbage.
Oh, God. Yes, I know.
Did you destroy that wall?
Pretty much, yeah. But, I mean, it was an apartment that you wouldn't notice in particular, so it wasn't a big deal. But, you do those things. But I was not, I didn't smash anything because I was getting old.
Oh, wow, I really got through my whole list. This is going to be a terrible show. There's French rappers staying at the Airbnb next to us. I mean, I could start ripping
You
off
mean when
Aaron's.
you're down in San Diego?
No. Thank you. God damn it. Jesus, we have lots to talk about. San Diego. We're going to be at San Diego next week.
Yes, you are. I read about that.
Yeah, and...
Are you coming, Curtis?
I'm going there, but not when you're there.
Oh.
I'm going earlier.
When?
I'm going Thursday.
We're going to be down there Thursday, but not when we're doing it. You mean not when we're doing the
Not
show?
when you're doing the show.
Paget Brewster's going to be down there, but she's down there. She said, you're not there till Thursday, right? And I said, yeah, how early are you supposed to go? And she's like, she said she's going down Wednesday. I'm like, what are you going to help TV Guide set up their yachts?
Exactly.
I don't understand.
It's such a social thing. It's an amazingly social thing. I was actually going down there because I got invited, because I've never been to Comic-Con as a fan, and yet I'm a huge fan, and I want to go to Comic-Cons as a fan, but then I always wind up getting tagged, and I never wind up actually doing what I want to do. Usually I go there because I'm selling something like everybody else.
Wait, when you say tagged, you mean like...
I mean,
They spot you.
Yeah, because I'm wandering around.
Right.
And they think I'm there for Comic-Con.
Right.
As like I'm selling something. Right. But actually, I'm just there to look at things that I like. And so this time, I've been invited to go because I'm a big fan of Orphan Black. And they're down there, and they invited me to come down.
Oh.
So I'm going to go as a fan to Orphan Black.
Wow.
But then I'm also going to see, Thursday night, the Baker Street Babes, which is an all-women's Sherlock Holmes group that I'm connected with.
What's this Sherlock Holmes group?
Well, it's a group of people who study the sacred writings.
Oh, they study. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're,
Cool.
And do they...
It's all women. It's a new group. They formed in New York as sort of a cheeky response to the old guard Sherlockians in New York. And they're going to be there, so I'm going to go down and play with them. But that's what happens, is you go down, and that's what Paget's doing. She's going down to just, play with people.
Mm-hmm. Is it a performance? The Sherlock people?
They've got a booth and stuff, and we're just.
So when you say play, you mean literally just play?
I mean just hang out.
Yeah.
Because I know them from New York.
So if you ever want to get away from the and just float freely through the crowd, you got to graduate to the. You got to dress like a stormtrooper or something.
I know. I was going to do that, and this all happened at the last minute, so I don't have time to put the costume together, or I would have done that.
What would you go as if you could go as any costume character?
I was going to go as one of the characters that Tatiana Maslany plays in Orphan Black. I was going to actually do. I wasn't going to just cosplay for the first time. I was going to drag cosplay, and I was going to play Helena, who's the psychotic killer. And but then I realized I had to do it properly, and I didn't have time to do it properly. So now I just say, the hell with it. I'm going to wander around, and whatever happens, happens.
Aaron is supposedly cooking up a little combo costume for us that I encouraged her to do. Yeah, I hope she can pull off, and she usually tends to.
What is your show going to be down there? Where do you do that? How do you do that?
Funny you should ask. We're going to be at the Tin Roof.
Yeah,
Tin Roof. Yeah.
In the Gas Lamp District. Gas Lamp.
Gaslight.
If you get to the Gaslight, you've gone too far. You want to go, but it's still a lamp.
Yeah.
But not all the way to the light bulb. That's way too far.
If you get to Gastown, you're in Vancouver.
It's at the Tin Roof and the Gas Lamp Light, and it's on Sunday night. So stay the extra night if you can. There's still seats available as far as I know, but it's a good sized crowd. It'll be a good show anyway. But here's incentive if you need it. There's going to be Aaron's been making like merchandise and stuff. There's going to be there's going to be like limited edition MC John T-shirts. I guess in order to make them truly limited edition, we'll only sell them that night. And really the only reason we'll sell them instead of giving them away is because we couldn't make enough to give away and then bring them on the bus. So we'll just have them there available. And then and I think there's another T-shirt she's working on, and I know there's like a print like of a Shadowrun poster.
Yeah, it's made by the same guy who did the D&D line art drawing from the first tour. It's Anthony Suarez did this Shadowrun group of the gang.
And I think there's going to be like a free Rick and Morty poster that you can get too. And
the drawing is Dr. Friend Kumail, or should it more rightly be Curtis?
It's Kumail.
It's Kumail.
Yeah, I heard.
It's all right. I understand.
I think it's really funny to imagine this Kumail troll, but then it's your voice coming out of it, like I'm a doctor. You know, I really like that mental image personally.
Yeah,
so.
it's good. Good.
So yeah, come there, come all, come everywhere and bring your scarf and shawl. I'm the little show promoter and I'm 3 feet tall. Come over there, come to the south, come on your feet, come in my mouth. I'm a little show promoter, I'm 3 feet tall. I'm a little elven man that lives in a tree. All I do is promote shows, all that I see. Please go to see Rob Schneider at the truck show. He was in Dukes of Hazzard, now he's nowhere to go. Because his car had a racist flag on it. I'm a little show promoter and I wear a bonnet. It was my mom's idea, she made me a baby. I want to fuck her or kill her, or maybe.
Wait.
I disagree.
3 feet tall show promoter. Why do you want to fuck or kill your mother?
You try being born 3 feet tall and not having fucking psychosexual issues. With your mother that made you wear a bonnet. Were you listening to the lyrics? I live in a fucking tree. That would fuck anyone up.
But like, if you have that much pent up rage, what made you become a show promoter?
I need that hug you can only get from a stranger. What the fuck?
Why not be a performer yourself? Why not like go into actually being in the show? Why only promote other people's creativity?
Look at this scar on my face.
Oh shit! I didn't see it.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks for saying that.
No, you were facing the other way.
Oh. I like to be close to talent, and I like to help it, and I don't feel comfortable on stage. It's not a choice that I make.
Did you ever try when you were younger to be on stage?
I dabbled. I'm fine with it. I'll be on stage. I'll do it if you want it, but I don't have to. I'm not one of those people. I don't have to. I don't have to. I don't have to. I think those people are crazy. I don't have to. I like to promote it. I like what I do. I think what I do is creative.
Why are you only 3 feet tall? Is that a congenital thing?
I made a choice at a very ill-advised fair that I would not. I tell people don't go. There's a lot of questionable vendors there, and I did get my name on a grain of rice, but also I had most of my lower torso removed. I thought he meant for a picture.
Oh, so you're not just like a little person. You're actually you're a regular-sized person with no legs.
Yeah, I paid for this. Is the fucked up thing, you know? So I go. So you can imagine I'm a man with no country. I go to little people conventions. Actually, no, I don't anymore. They're fucking assholes to me. And I think you know how your people treat me. So I do what I do. I hang out. I'm not bitter. And I promote shows, and I whenever I start singing, people start clapping automatically, which makes me feel...
Can I ask you a question? And this is off the record. Are you excited about the Harmontown being in the Gaslight or Lamp district? Or is that you just like clocking in, doing your job, singing the song?
A good promoter remains objective. If you like, I always tell people, your craft is what you do. My craft is promotion. So, for instance, I just finished, frankly, and this isn't going to win me any popularity contests, but what the fuck is? I just finished doing some radio spots for a Ku Klux Klan rally, and
we actually have audio of that. Let's Dustin, let's roll that clip.
Come one, come all, come to the Ku Klux Klan. I'm gonna burn some crosses and talk about minorities being bad and color being red. I am Ku Klux Klan. You should come to our rally. I'm the Grand Wizard. You should come, and we're gonna wear white, and our hats are pointy, and we're gonna march around and jump around and have good times. And there's a daycare center if you bring your kids. And there's horseshoes. It's 9/11. It's 9/11. It's 9/11. Yay.
I forgot to ask you. Last question. 3 feet tall, show promoter. Well, what's your name? So we can have a T-shirt.
Taye.
T-Y?
Taye.
Were you born Taye, or is that you reinventing yourself?
My given name is Jonathan Taye Brigston. My father, Jonathan, was a narcissistic asshole, so I go by my middle name. It is no less my name. It was the only way to tell me from him when you called my house. Is John there? Oh, which one? Who subjects someone to that? I go by my middle name.
What was the booth where they cut your legs off at the fair?
Tiny you. Exclamation point. And it had pictures of people, and they're given height, and then next to them was like before or after, and they were smaller. I thought it was gag photography.
Oh, so
now,
you didn't wish you were actually smaller. You thought it would be a photo.
I thought I would walk out of there with a photo.
So they removed your legs?
They took some of my lower torso. Enough. You know, you have a small intestine and a large intestine. They took most of my large intestine, took some of my small intestine and moved it down there to take its place. Then he took a tiny bit of my small intestine because it's smaller and you can't live with most of it. Gone. They cut my thigh and they cut my legs off at the hip, cut my thighs in half and my calves in half, and then took half of each and hinged them with these with my own kneecaps. And then did a similar thing with my... Well, they didn't do anything with my arms. They just wanted me to be...
Is Tiny Me still in existence?
Tiny You.
Tiny You, sorry.
And here's the thing that I'm not telling you, because it embarrasses me and makes me the villain of this story instead of the victim. But I've told my story and no one cares, which is why I work in promotion now. The truth of it is, on my way into the fair, Burning Man, I ran over a dwarf family.
On the way in.
On the way in, parking was hard. I don't know if you've been to Burning Man.
Yeah.
It's all about being a hippie and all this stuff, but it's fucking hard to park. And it gets frustrating, and I was a different person back then. I ran over a dwarf family, got out of the car.
Did you kill them? Or did they survive?
I got out of the car.
Sorry.
I ran to the only remaining living dwarf.
Was this a child or one of the adults?
It was an elderly woman dressed in, I guess, what I would describe as shamanic attire. As I reached for her to ask if she was okay, if she had insurance. Her hand gripped my face, and her toothless mouth hissed, "Shorter."
Do you
and
think
I laughed it off.
you must have thought she's just a big Stephen King fan.
Yeah, I said that's ridiculous. Let's get you to a hospital. And then the stupid me, and this is the part that's really embarrassing, when I saw that booth, I said to my wife, wouldn't this be hilarious given the events earlier? So yeah, I deserve it. Yeah. Is that what you want to... That's the conclusion everyone that hears the story comes to. I stopped telling it. So I'm in promotion. I like to focus on other people. It's a little embarrassing.
When you go into Tiny U and you're in the booth and it's not a photograph thing, there's actually a surgical procedure that happens. Do they knock you out, or are you alert during this procedure?
Okay, you're gonna drag every embarrassing detail out of this.
I'm only asking because this is riveting shit. Like, this is very.
I was on peyote already. I was at Burning Man. I took peyote, but that's why I hit the Dwarven family. I was on every drug known to man.
There was no police came. There was no like inquest.
There's no cops at Burning Man, bro.
I've never
you want
been.
cops? Go to the G8 summit, motherfucker.
So okay, so you're on peyote. You go into Tiny U.
Peyote, mescaline. I put a tiny
peyote and mescaline at the same time.
It's called
covering your bases.
They call it a curveball. You do those at the same time. I take 3 Ritalin and I think like just a couple tutors of Coke and some poppers of Amyl and a little bit of VHS head cleaner to dilate my sphincter, just in case. Back then I cared how big it was.
What do they call amyl nitrate poppers and VHS head cleaner?
Amyl nitrate poppers it puts you in the mood.
I'm not saying is there a nickname like curveball for doing?
Oh, doing those both? That's just called a garage. Because
so you walk
it opens you up and then you with the urge to host a car.
Okay. So You're driving down to Burning Man. You're on a curveball and a garage. A couple tutors of coke.
Oh yeah, that's just to take the edge
Right,
off.
fuck that. You murder a family of little people.
It was
The cops
called.
the cops don't come because they're not there. They're at the G8. You and your wife go. Wow, fucking so high right now. There's a booth there called Tiny U. You go in there. Who do you meet? Like, what's the person that works at like? I want to know everything about. First of all, why isn't there like a Dateline on Tiny U? Like, why haven't this terrible company like not been outed for? Clearly.
They conduct their business in the back alleys and Burning Mans of the world, and they get away with it. This is something I've been screaming about, but no one wants to hear my story. And when I, as you've noticed, when I get enthusiastic about anything, everyone starts clapping because I'm fucking. Yeah. It's hard being me and being dehumanized. No one takes me seriously. It's like I'm a leprechaun all the time, and everyone just keeps clapping every time I have an opinion. And I somehow enable it by talking in rhymes sometimes, but. I don't try to all the time. This is exactly what happened in the courtroom. And I left. I stormed out. One of the problems is because my legs are made of half femur, half calf. When I storm out, it looks like dancing. And, of course, they didn't do it precisely, so one leg is shorter than the other, so I dance in a circle. So I start saying things I'm passionate about. Everyone starts clapping. I get mad. I want to leave. I'm dancing in a circle. And this is my life, so I'm in promotion. I'm in promotion now. And I'm not bitter, and I like it. My name is Taye Brigston, and I'm a new classic Harmontown character that is really offensive. All right.
Wow. Thanks for coming, Taye.
Yeah. Okay. A morning zoo team. Let's get DeMorge out here.
DeMorge. DeMorge Brown.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hey, DeMorge, because not because you're black, but because you're my black friend.
That I am.
And I know you do not. You're not an ambassador of your race. Far from it. The things this guy does. But I just personally, how do you feel about the when you see a fast food commercial that's like targeting?
You realize that I've been in those too.
Have you been in them?
With Joel, you know all those Burger Kings with Joel McHale. I'm the black guy in those ads.
But being the black guy in, but I'm talking about the ads where literally everyone in the ad is black and the soundtrack is like kind of like
It's been a running thing with me because there are certain ads that have black people in them and they're just ads with black people, and then there are ads that are black. And the best example I can give of this is I had an audition once, and I had an agent who was like, I know you've had 4 today. I'm going to send you on a 5th. You gotta go because I can't believe this is real. And I had a clause in my thing. Like when I first signed with them, they said, "Is there anything you won't do?" And I said, "I won't do cigarette stuff, and no KFC." And this is what. And she said, "It's a KFC thing. Just go, please do it for me. You'll never. I know. Just go, and you'll see what I mean." And so I get there, and there's 2 ads. There's a black ad, and there's a white ad. And the white ad is that there's a guy who's got a yellow Corvette, and there's a girl next to him, and he's eating chicken fingers, and she's like, "Oh, I just want to try it. I just want to get in it." And he's like, "Yeah, babe, I know you do." And ultimately, she's talking about the chicken fingers.
Oh, my God. It's like an O. Henry novel.
She thought he was talking about the car. Yeah. The black ad is incredibly different. And the room is different. Everybody's in the same room, but the white people are sort of just hanging out, chatting. And then there are these black, and I know that these are stage actors, people who know the story, dying laughing. They're sitting in their seats, and you see these people going, I'm gonna eat that chicken. And we're gonna eat that chicken. And I get the script, and the script says, it opens with a description. The THA boys are watching the game. Mama's in the kitchen fixing up some kitchen fresh chicken because they were trying to take the word fried out of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and so it was KFC. And then apparently what happens is the wife of one of the three guys watching the game comes in, sees the mom in there, and gets jealous. She's been shopping, and then she gets upset. So I'm looking at this, I'm looking at these guys, and then there's three of us. We go in a room, and the guy sets with the audition. The audition is like this. Three guys, we're going to do the ad 3 times, once for each of you guys, and I'm going to give notes. The cast directors, I'll give notes. The first guy gives his best shot. The first line is, the woman comes in, she goes, what are you guys doing? And the guy's first line is, the line is written, eating kitchen fresh chicken. And the guy says, eating kitchen fresh chicken as subtly and as best, as he can. The guy gives notes, and he says, no notes to him. To the wife, you should be really mad. You see this mom is in here, and she's in your territory. So, I don't know if you've ever seen Rolanda, but your neck's got to pop, and and Mama, if you could just really make that chicken for us so that we get, but anyway, go. And then the second take, they come around and come to me, and I've already decided I'm going to do this Snagglepuss voice for the line. So they come to me. And then she says the line, and she's markedly upset and, glistening a bit at this point. And I say, eating a kitchen fresh chicken. Guy comes over, no notes for me. Honestly, I don't know if you've seen Rolanda, but you've got the women that get upset, and you gotta. And Mama, honestly, with the chicken, maybe if you open up more, we'll see more of you, so we can do that. The third guy tops me. He does this. And the craziest part about it is I get a call back. I go to the callback, that dude is there. Not the other guy. What? So I'm like, so I look at this, I go, there's got to be somebody in the room that said, I want to see these guys again. Yeah. We're paired together.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely an inside job there.
So I get outside, but I get out of the room because I can see them. They're there, and the client is enjoying their time in L.A. They're loving their time in L.A. So they're ordering Peking duck and then mad because, what do you mean they have to call ahead? It takes 8 hours to make Peking duck, some shit like that. And so they're very much like, they're the people who wrote the ad or approved it or did whatever. Yeah. And I'm looking at this guy, and the guy goes, you going to do the same thing? And I said, yeah, I probably am. And then the door flies open, and this Ally McGraw woman walks out, lithe, lovely, riding boots up to here, a white fisherman sweater with a blue marijuana leaf on it, doesn't even look at us, takes out a cigarette, takes a drag, blows it straight into the air, then looks at us out of the corner of her eye, smiles, and goes in a room, and I go, that's the wild card. And I go, and I bet you anything, there's a black guy in there, and he's probably wearing a polo, and his name is George, and he just wants a corner office, and they probably said, oh, shit, run it by George, and George said, oh, yeah, it's great. And we go in the room, and there's a dude in a lavender polo sitting in a corner with a bristly mustache, and his head's down, he's flipping through notes, and he looks up, and then he looks down right away. And we did the same thing. They called me to give me the job, and I was like, my agent goes, just...
You went kitchen fresh chicken.
I did, in the room with them, I said, kitchen fresh chicken. With no intention of doing the job. What obviously.
The fuck is happening?
I have no idea. I really don't know. Ultimately, I don't think it matters, and I think even if they recognize that that's what you're doing, they realize that on the day, if you're the actor they think you are, and they think very little often, sometimes when they're making those types of ads of actors, they think, well, we get them on the day. They'll do the actor will do the thing.
You
the agent
think,
will make
you think there's full awareness of what's going on there, that they're a little
somewhere
embarrassed?
in the production company or somewhere somebody's knows.
I'm 42 years old. I'm lucky enough to have been doing shit for 20 years that involved like directing people, like tweaking performances and stuff. And I have on at least 4 occasions had to ask a black performer to basically black it up, like because it was like part of the
no murder Abrahams. You were like, I think you need to more. You think you need to do a thing, and it was just because I was doing like straight reads on the lines.
But there's always like this brick wall where it's like we all know what's going on. Like it's like there's this uncomfortable moment. It's almost like a reverse handshake where like Jordan Peele like came in and did the this like time monster, and it was like the dialogue was written like we wrote it for like Key and Peele, and it was like the idea was like these fourth dimensional time monster creatures come in, and their dialect is like they're very black, and but like
very,
and it's not my
Kitchen
preference.
fresh chicken.
As in the but you talk about those ads, and like for example, Adolf Caesar. One time when I had a wonderful voiceover teacher for commercials in Boston, and she gave me a Don Buchwald audition tape one time, I think, and Adolf Caesar's voice was on there. So it's every black ad ever from one of the greatest actors of all time, and you'll recognize. Well, it's the guy that said, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste."
Oh, yeah?
That guy, and he had like a BC powder. Aspirin powder ad where he's like, "You got a dirty, low-down, rotten headache." every ad was amazing. And he's in an ad. I saw this only one time during the Grammys when I was a kid, and I don't know where this ad is. If they find it, it will go viral. It was a black McDonald's ad, I think targeted at the Grammys, with James Brown in it, but only for a moment. And it's black kids in a McDonald's going, oh, they run up to the show, and it's like, James Brown concert, sold out. And they're like, oh, man. We didn't make it in time. Hey, fellas, look across the street. There's McDonald's. We're going to Mickey D's. Oh, it's all right.
When there's
So
not
there,
enough
like,
James
what are you
Brown.
going to get? I'm going to get a Big Mac. What are you going to get? I don't know, but I'll know when I get up there. And then they're waiting in line, and the door flies open.
So far, this is a great commercial.
This is why I don't know why I only saw this once.
Like a Mammoth play.
The door flies open in the last second. The door flies open. James Brown comes in, the entire thing on one leg, and he goes, "Ha! It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's."
No.
And then the guys high five, end of ad. And then while it's going on, I think it's Adolf Caesar's voice at the end. It's like, "You know what's up. Get on down to Mickey D's."
Okay, so original question because you
can find that
because
ad.
you got to get up to get down.
So forget as an actor. Okay, so you were in the trenches on the actor side. Can you compartmentalize as a viewer when those commercials come on? What happens to you in your brain?
Well, I was a kid, I recognized it immediately as a black ad, and I put it in my black ad trunk. Which is, you see them all. But, you see them all. What I loved was like they were markedly low risk, and they were markedly worse on average. It was always, oh, it's black grandmother's black birthday. She's buying a black Pontiac. Let's hope she gets her black loan. Like, it was always like, Mama, try out the bucket seats. It was always that kind of stuff, as opposed to just other ads which were subtle and weirder and stuff. But what was great was there were other ads with black people in them that didn't even target race. Like, there was a Little Caesars ad or something. No, it was the same people who made the Little Caesars ads made an ad for like a sale at like a department store sale or something like that, and they cut to all these different people who are like, I wish I had known about the sale, and then they go to the and they cut to this one black guy who's in the ad. He dominates the ad, and he's a hot dog vendor, and he goes, I'm holding my weenie, and poof, my woman was gone. And that's like it's not a black. It's just the ad is just people everywhere go to this sale, and this guy steals it just by being himself. Like it.
Yeah,
These are the old Little Caesar ads, the ones that had the dog, and different ones where they were like really odd and strange and arch.
So jury's out.
Yeah. No, I mean they're horrible. They're like I think they're horrible, but I think what's happened is we're all starting to get the clearest picture. picture. It's the same thing about soccer, perceptions of soccer and that kind of stuff. And I've never known a world where soccer didn't rule and everybody was into it and it was a thing. And I grew up along most people who I think for a while were like, oh, no, it'll never catch on. It's like everybody I know played it. And in black, there's a world where I know that everybody, my relatives, my friends, and their relatives, they buy everything that everybody else buys. Our consumer dollar is worth everything everybody else's is. But also, people made fun of that movie Rachel's Wedding because they're like, no combinations of people of any ethnicity exist like this and do these kinds of things. That's all I ever knew growing up. And I grew up around all these people. These perceptions of the world are now commonplace. And so you get ads where it's, black ads that are subtle and delightful. You get ads that are targeted to everybody, but are primarily black just by ethnicity because they're putting a black family on for the first time, or a black husband and wife, or couples of mixed ethnicity.
That's where it gets
and
confusing,
that kind of
is because when you go like, what is television's role and what is the that's what always like makes my brain turn into a balloon animal, because I'm like, Norman Lear started doing sitcoms that were like, hey, what if we treated this segment of the viewing audience as if they also were human beings, which entails something that on any other day you could go like, well, that's also it just twists my fucking brain, and I'll go to my grave awkward. They should just put awkward, racially obsessed, awkward, can't fuck up on my grave, and I spent his life trying to figure it out.
All of it is all about the fact that we're capable of so much more. Our brains are capable of holding all of it in, and we don't have to necessarily continue to generalize to get wider to understand everything on infinite detail. We can actually stay on macro and just take everything in at its own detail and say, you look at when Tiger Woods was first becoming a thing, and he's like, look, my mom is Thai, my dad's black, but there's also mixed race parentage in me of other things. So you're telling me that you want me to tell you what I am? Why don't you just ask me about the golf game and not worry about that shit? And
which is that's like why the transgender movement might be the Christ of this, thing. Because there will never be a. I shouldn't say this is gonna. I'm sure this will get twisted into something inflammatory. I just but believe me, I'm just there will never be such a. It's never going to be like, look out the window at all those transgender people, Senator. There's going to be. I mean, there's 700,000 out openly transgender people right now, and there's a lot of people. I'm just saying, like, we can't keep waiting for this. They're like this little tiny key that could unravel the whole thing, because John Oliver just did this piece on his show about the whole transgender thing, and it really just, again, like flip-flopped my brain about everything, because like it's one thing to talk about this culturally, but now it's like there's laws, they're passing laws in different places that you have to use the bathroom that corresponds to the genitalia that you were born with, not the gender that you identify with. So they're running ads for like these local referendums that are like, they'll show a little girl going into a women's room, and then a dude with a baseball cap and a goatee looking around and then going into the women's room after her and saying, this is what you're voting for. Or this, because the idea is that if you identify the idea is that guy in the baseball cap can say, I identify as a woman, so I'm going to go molest a girl in the bathroom, like as if that's the slippery slope we're on. And my point is, like, there's torturous things happening to people who represent really the end all be all of like the final thresholds that we really thought we could call thresholds. And I think what you're saying is that, like, that macro statement, like, we can live in the macro, we have the capacity for it. We're primates, we can do it. And the guy in the Four Agreements said the same thing.
Oh boy!
Our brains are designed to experience everything at the same time.
And we're back.
Our brains are not designed to have. They don't have to always have like this flashlight beam that only shines on one thing and thinks about one thing at once. We can think a million things at once, and we can definitely think like, well, like, let's, for instance, you could definitely decide as a society to go, well, let's make sure everybody's happy. Like you could build that as the bottom foundation, and then you could build everything else on top of it. But we're living in a world that was created like so long ago by people that didn't even see these days coming when these questions we would have the luxury of asking these questions. But the I don't know. I just got excited when you said that because I was thinking about that piece and like feeling the guilt inside of me and going like, oh my God, well. Like that's what this transgender like concept is doing to people right now is like we're all going oh I don't know, I've heard myself say out loud like, oh come on, you know, like about various things, like I thought that's where you could draw the line, like, well, give me a break, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, why are you drawing the line there? And it's like well, take that line away and take that line away and take that line away. What do you think the worst case scenario is, where everything is just how people want it to be? Like what do you think would happen? I just wanted to co-opt what you were saying and turn it into a transgender piece. So, but I feel like that's the skeleton key.
Television? Is the redefinition of television one of the things that's helping that? Because it used to be that there were only certain programs on, so there were only certain shadings of people that you saw, and then you'd go out in the world, especially if you're adventurous, you leave your town, and you meet these people whose only experience with somebody like you is never. They've never seen anybody like you. But what they relate to it via generalization is, Raj on what's happening or something like that. And I think, this guy must like this. And if I still to this day, if I go into a Foot Locker or something, this is not to call them out, but it's happened every fucking time I go in there. You know, and they just poke there, and I poke my head in, and they're like, how's it going, sir? How's it going, sir? Hey, bro, what can I do for you? And it's like, and this is not, you know, I'm not. This is not.
Their logo is literally black and white. you think they have
it's not. There was a Foot Locker. I went to see a movie, and I walked past a Foot Locker. I didn't even go in it, and they were giving away Michael Jordan cologne with a bonus prize, and the guys talking, and I can hear them in the walk-up talking to everybody. I already know in my head, I love you, Michael Jordan, but I'm not going to buy your cologne because I have David Beckham's cologne. But I'm walking past it, and the dude, it's called Instinct, by the way, and it's amazing. It has a magnetic cap.
Are you wearing it now?
No. I'm wearing a combination of other stuff. So I walk past it. Are you going to give us a breakdown? It's not,
Is
not
that
on, not on the wrist
racist?
today. Yeah, it's probably faded.
It's very subtle.
I think I'm in love.
The guys at the you make it back. The guys at the table turned to me and said, "Try Michael Jordan cologne today." And I said, "Guys, no, I'm not." And then before I could finish that, the one on the end said, "You get a free basketball."
Whoa!
Oh. Because they were giving away red and black Michael Jordan basketballs for the thing, and I just looked at him. I walked over and I go, "If you ever in your lifetime ever see me again, do not speak to me or say the word basketball to anybody around me within a 300-yard radius. Are you out of your fucking mind?" And I just sort of walked up, and that was just I was just pissed. It was a rage moment. I didn't need to do anything.
Right, but you recognize.
But you know what that is.
Obviously, since it was part of a promotion, you're guaranteed. You know that they weren't.
But they offered nobody in the walk-up to me a basketball as an incentive.
Oh, they were picking and choosing.
Yeah, it was in a Beverly Center. They never, or Beverly, the Beverly Center. It was like one of the, like never, but I'm the last guy in, and the basketball became part of the incentive. And I was just like, man, maybe the word wasn't basketball, maybe it was free. I don't know, but there's no part of that unlocks the key that makes that right.
I want a free basketball.
It was like you could.
I would love a free basketball.
Dude, get over there.
But you're saying they wouldn't give me one. Right?
They wouldn't offer to you, but you would get it. It's part of the deal.
Oh, for real?
Okay, yeah. The cologne would be the thing.
But they didn't put that in the pitch.
No.
Okay.
But
Not
no,
to
it would
anybody
be the idea would be you can turn down the cologne, but you can't possibly turn down the free basketball.
QED.
Yeah, so it all comes down to dehumanization. That's always the theme, and that's why again it's like that's the skeleton key aspect of the transgender thing is because it's people going, I choose this even though it's difficult for me and all this stuff. Because it might be our final invitation to realize that everything leading up to it has always been about dehumanization, whether you're laughing about people being grouped together with certain characteristics or something like that. The final thing is like we can do all of that anytime we want as long as everybody understands that that every individual you see is always an individual and you can't make any assumptions about them. And it's being hammered into our brains, and the harder the hammer gets pounded, the more like the more I feel myself my system goes into a shock, and then I relax, and I'm like, oh, thanks. That got hammered in. Like, keep hammering it and hammering it and hammering it until I can finally like look around and only see individuals and never shake this thing where we're thinking like, well, you know, the Irish. And it's like why? Because it comforts us, you know. It gives us understanding of a world full of people. And people scare us, and we go like, you know, you laugh with your friends and go like, that fucking Irish. You know, he's Irish. I thought I was Irish for 20 years. I just found out I'm fucking British. Anyways, all right, let's move on. We did our weird Springer's final thoughts segment of the thing. So
I wonder if in the upcoming weeks we're going to see more of Taye Brigston. I hope he comes back to the show.
All right, so yeah, and then speaking of individuals and dehumanization and stuff, and we've had this ongoing conversation, but this is one of those nights we've had nothing but men up on stage, and I think, and she doesn't. This is the important key. She doesn't have to play Mercy O'Donnell necessarily, but we need one helper up here, right?
Yeah.
And I say make it a lady with my proactive campaign. All right. Well, I mean, you spoke up. That's enough. I mean, come on up.
Bring it up here.
Right.
It's important to my relationship with my wife that it's not because of the skirt. It's because of the volition.
What's your name?
Darcy.
Hello, Darcy. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to be here. Thanks, everyone.
All right. So we got enough people, right?
Yep, we got enough people.
Darcy, you have an awesome R2-D2 tattoo on your left arm.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
It's very well done.
I also have Bender, and I also have...
Thank you.
I have to take off my clothes.
I
I have tattoos.
What's your weirdest one?
My weirdest one?
Yeah.
Probably the... Shit, man, I don't know. None of them are super weird. I have my Bender, probably.
Do you have a tattoo that you regret? I asked my brother.
Yes,
my brother's
I have
20 tattoos. He regrets none of them.
Yes.
Do you have one
when
that you would take
when I
back?
was 22, I got divorced, and I got a back tattoo in Japanese that means freedom. So, yeah, one day I'll get it covered, and I'll be all right.
Like a tramp stamp?
Yes, tramp stamp.
Freedom. I love it.
Freedom.
I just realized that there might be somebody that hasn't seen the show before, and we haven't explained what we're doing. These manila folders are coming out. They're like, are they going to eat me?
It's tax time again.
Are they going to start praying and then dip me into a cauldron of stew?
Darcy, you're hip to the jive, right? You know what our shadow run is, right? Vaguely.
Yes, I'm a little behind because I have a lot of podcasts, but I do know what Shadowrun is.
You're on a lot of podcasts, or you listen to a lot of podcasts?
No, I wish. No, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Well, God. I love Harmontown. I got to catch Dead Authors. I'm in town. I'm from out of town, so this is my first Harmontown, and that's why I felt free to shout like, yes, let me do it. And I'm a little shaky. But, no, I love Dead Authors, and they're stopping soon, so I was able to catch that.
What was it? I didn't get the name of that.
Dead Authors
podcast with Paul F. Tompkins.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul. You know Paul.
Our friend Matt Gorley does it a bunch.
Yeah, I wish he'd been there. I love him. But
I'll tell him you said so.
Yes. Throwing Shade, Judge Don Hodgman, Lady to Lady. What am I on a lot? Oh, Comedy Bang Bang I love, of course.
Right.
You know, that's
all right.
a huge one.
So you ready to rock and roll, Darcy?
Let's try it.
Spencer, do we have a guest announcer?
Yeah, this
or
one was
recapper, rather?
Guest recapper John from L.A.
You ready to go?
Yeah. Last run. Oh, sorry. I'll let you finish.
Oh, fuck, Jeff, wait, start it over, man. That was fucked up.
I thought he wasn't going to go, and right when I did, whoa, he started talking.
That was fucked up.
You just had the same instinct to go right at the right moment.
Right.
The one I was going to go at. I mean, it's a natural instinct. You see? You can't do it. Last run on Shadow Time, Harmontown Time Shadow. We last saw the gang at Jim Nightblade's apartment engaged in a standoff with Jesse Yellowman. Jesse, a street samurai and the protege of captured scientist Baldwin Brown, was trying to convince the team to forfeit their pay data, warning of dire consequences if they failed to do so. Nightblade fired his grappling gun out the window for no reason, and then a firefight ensued. Hortigard was able to subdue Jesse with a blast of shock ammo from his rifle, allowing the team to tie up the incapacitated vigilante for delivery to their mysterious Johnson. Then Eve Libertine started operating landscaping equipment and farting because this show is improvised. Will the team manage to get paid, or will their employer double-cross them? Find out, now.
Whoa.
Thank you, Spencer.
Yeah, man. And thanks again to John from L.A.
As always, I spent the recap going like, did I talk about race too much? So I didn't listen at all, so I have no idea what.
We took Jesse Yellowman captive to give him to our Johnson as a show of good faith.
Oh, we got him.
We have him all tied up, right?
He's knocked out and tied up, yeah.
All right, so let's take him back to the Johnson and say, look, this is what happens. Sometimes people offer us more money to, double cross you. We're saying, fuck that shit. We got the guy. Sorry, my voice is gone.
Hey, two things occur to me. One is
Is this going to be about race?
no, this is like 2075.
Okay.
I'm like 30% Cherokee.
30?
It skips a generation. One is the simple code of the street samurai, which says that this guy tried to stun him, and he was faster, and kind of feel like a chump bringing him in. The other is what if he's talking a lot of stuff about how the stakes are, kind of big. He's saying we're dealing with something. I don't know, man. I keep going back and forth about this. I guess I'm not really a good shadow runner or a good thinker. Maybe we could split the diff and set the guy free without totally fucking him over. Our rationale was that we got to do our job, but this ain't our job. Turning snitch on a fucking fellow shatter.
Why don't we here's a pitch. Why don't we take him and leave him somewhere safe with a little note, like we write a little note that says, look, we could have turned you over. We didn't. Like
a warning.
Yeah, we're not going to turn you in and get you in trouble, but just leave it be, and let him know that we were cool about it.
Why don't we take a look at some of these files with somebody that knows what they mean, too? I agree with that, but also let's take a look at what we're handing over to the man. No, nobody said we couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
What files? I'm sorry.
The files we got from Baldwin Brown's
Yeah,
office.
let's check them out.
Okay.
Somebody smart here?
Mercy, you're smart.
Oh, yes. Let me look at these files that I have. What the fuck is in the files? Oh.
They're on a data chip. You find it's encrypted. Some high-level stuff. It's going to take a real hacker to figure this out.
Oh, shit. We need Hackeye. Is Hackeye with us?
No.
Shit.
Hackeye, can we... Go ahead, sorry.
Hackeye's not with us.
Yeah, I know. Talking to him on the phone.
Go. Oh, you got him?
You guys talk to him. I talk too much.
No, you talk. You talk.
Nah, let Mercy talk to him. So.
Hat guy, hey, what's up? How you doing? Where you at?
I'm at home.
Oh, cool. So, where's home at? Where are we in relation to your home?
Don't worry about that.
Oh.
What do you need?
We need to unencrypt these files.
Yeah. Can I send you a file then, man? Because we gotta unencrypt this stuff, and it's really, really important.
Yeah, just upload it to the Matrix.
Hold
Not
on.
a joke.
Hordegard would argue against taking the secret files that we have gone through so much trouble to acquire and then just making them open to everyone to see. What I might suggest is that if you can convince him to be amenable to the idea, perhaps we could either arrange to have a car sent to him if he could give the specific details and digits of what he needs. Otherwise, I could possibly track his location using some sort of combination of skills and mechanisms that I have. Otherwise, but we could get him and bring him to us.
Who are you talking to?
I'm speaking to the group. As a suggestion to my colleagues.
I mean, we're sending him an encrypted file, right? Like, is that not safe to send over the matrix? Or?
Well, there are other encryptors in the
You're
world.
being really uptight about this.
This is my job and my lineage.
All right. Let's get him a car. I mean, we need it now, but okay.
Is he
let's go get him
amenable
a
to
car.
the idea?
I can meet you at Hank's last stand.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's
go.
Let's go to Hank's.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. You arrive at Hank's last
Later
stand.
at the Hall of Justice.
You pile out of the Uber and into the dark comfort of the old moldy bar. You see Hank cleaning his glass as usual. Hawkeye, not Hawkeye. Hawkeye is in the corner, his usual corner, waiting.
Well, we never discussed what we were going to do with Pinky Yellowman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back in time.
I mean, he's tied up in the car out front. Right?
Well,
Did
let's
we
say,
crack a window for him?
My pitch would have been let's restrain him and put him in the trunk.
Yeah.
So he's just in the
Of
trunk.
the Uber?
Oh shit! Yeah, it's an Uber. Fuck.
We put him in the trunk of the Uber. We say to the driver, leave the meter running.
Yeah, okay, that works. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Mercy.
All right.
Mercy, go talk to Hawkeye. Give him the encrypted data and talk your talk.
Hey, hat guy.
Hey.
Hey, you got a drink? Can I get you a drink?
Oh, I'm fine. How's
All
it
right.
going? What do you need from me?
Well,
Hawkeye?
we need you to be hat guy. We need you to do your thing because we've got this data. Excuse me. We've got this data chip and we need it unencrypted because
Yeah, you do.
stuff.
Give it to me. I'll take it. I'll take
Give
a
it
look
to
at
you.
it.
So
Wait, is there a will they won't they thing going on with Mercy
I
and
don't know.
Hawkeye?
Is there?
I don't know. It seems like you guys are getting a little flirty over there.
This is my bedroom voice.
I go to the jukebox and put on some sexy R&B.
And I'm at the bar with Dr. Friend, and I go. So what do you make of all this shadow running?
I don't know, man. I have to tell you. As long as I do no harm, I'm okay.
It's got to become increasingly hard in this world.
It's becoming increasingly hard now, especially with.
I turn the music up on the sexy R&B.
There are a lot of things I haven't talked about with you.
Right. Hey, listen, it's getting really hard for me too. So you can trust me. Talk to me. Hey man, I'm like you.
I don't think you are, man. I don't think you have a clue.
I used to be legit. I fell down to this world. Fell from grace. Lost my wings.
Oh, no, I thought you meant about me being gay.
Hordegard goes to the jukebox and plays the next selection, which is Luther Vandross. Never enough.
Well, I mean, look, if we're going there on the Kinsey scale, truth be told, I call myself 50-50.
I'm a little more than that. You know, we've been going on these shadow runs for a long time. I've been keeping everything kind of low, but I have to tell you that I'm dealing with feelings about you.
Oh, shit.
I mean, you in particular. I'm just telling you. You don't have to say anything. I'm just letting you know.
No. I appreciate your transparency.
I figured you should know. Please don't tell anybody. It's just between us.
Of course, I respect nothing more than privacy. That's why I got into this business.
You know, I'm a precog. I can sense your look and everything about it.
What are you guys talking about over there?
How's the mission?
Hack guy's still working on it. Have we found anything out yet?
Oh yeah, I'm just pouring through this datas. It was seriously.
Guess we're all pouring through a lot of datas.
Gently, Nightblade. Gently.
What does it say?
It says all sorts of stuff. It talks about BTL chips, those hot new drugs that kids are using these days. Talks about the mechanisms by which they damage and degrade the neural pathways of your brain. And it looks like Baldwin Brown has been doing some research on how to reverse that damage. We're talking crazy BTLs. Imagine if you could just do mountains of cocaine all day and wake up fresh as a daisy. That's what they're bringing. That's what this research is about. No downsides to drugs.
So somebody who had these files could either, I don't know.
It sounds like if you're removing the bad side of a dangerous drug, I don't really see a downside to giving it to Baldwin Brown.
No, it seems pretty standard. You just fix these neural pathways in the brain and everything's healthy.
I guess the question is, the people that we give this information to, do they want it because they want to use it
or suppress it?
Well, they used to.
Cliffhanger! Thank you, Darcy. Darcy, everybody. DeMorge Brown. Curtis Armstrong. Spencer Crittenden. Taye Brigston, the embittered 3-foot-tall promoter. I'm Jeff Davis, your mayor, Dan Harmon. Thank you all. Drive fast, take chances.
Did you get any of that?
It's a good show.
Feral Audio.